it's Liz. Welcome back to my channel. I thought what I would do today is talk to you about some of my haul that I've had this past weekend. On Saturday, actually let's start with Sunday because that's what I've got set out here. On Sunday we had a local vintage market here in our big park. I don't know, is this even in frame? This book is massive. I am always on the lookout for vintage magazines, vintage photos, vintage photo albums, vintage paper of any sort, as well as things like vintage fabrics and lace, you know, and especially also little tins and things. But basically what happened is we had met up with friends of ours who came to visit us, and so we decided it would be fun just to take a walk down to the market to go and have a look around to see what there is. And I had set myself a budget of £35, knowing that if I did get something for that amount of money, it would be something definitely worthwhile. And really, sorry about knocking the camera there, and definitely it was. What I got for £35 is this huge photo album that dates back to Victorian times. It's called the County Album. And yeah, we've got pages and pages and pages of absolutely amazing images and photos from back then. A lot of the photos have actually fallen out, but I mean, just look at that. It is just so pretty. I had a lot of fun looking through it, and of course my husband, being my husband, decided that I had to carry everything myself. Needless to say, I was very pleased when it turned out that lunch wasn't actually, you know, that far down the road. But yeah, so basically it's very old. I mean, it dates back from the 1800s, early 1900s, and it is absolutely stunking. Some of the photos actually have fallen out, and they are these photos. I've scanned a few and added them to my shop as digital downloads. I always try and collect these because I just absolutely love these vintage photos. I know some people find it really weird and eerie collecting these unknown people to your house and that, but the way I see it, and as I spoke to the guy who sold me this album, we were saying it's just basically giving them a new lease of life. Otherwise, whoever they belonged to in the past would have just been, you know, they would have thrown them away or put them in a bonfire, or, you know, something along those lines. With me, at least, they will have somewhere to live. I tend to try and put some of them up around the house every now and again. My husband is now no longer freaked out by coming home and finding strange people on his walls. He is now quite used to that. This is really interesting. It's two of the same pictures, but obviously it's two different exposures, which I really quite like. But yeah, and I just do like this young family here. They are just, it's so beautiful. And also I've discovered the reason why my voice was so croaky. Down with a throat and chest cold this past week. So that's very exciting. But on Saturday, I met up with my friend Abby. You can find her on Instagram as moripaperstudio. Abby and I met through Instagram and through my shop. We hit it off like a house on fire. We are very, very bad news together, in the sense that we shop a lot when we are together, but then we are also, we encourage, but we are also sensible towards one another, especially if we know we're going somewhere and there's a budget that needs setting. So what we did on Saturday was we met at Victoria Station here in London. Both relatively easy places for both of us to get to. We subsequently then walked through to Shepherd's. Shepherd's is a bookbinding shop. One of the very few here in the UK, and they also run classes. So Abby and I basically visited there to get a few things. Saturday was basically our shopping day. Sorry, let me just take the goodies out. That is of interest. So basically what happened is I set myself a budget for the day on Saturday also, knowing very full well that I would be excuse me one second. That I would be shopping on Sunday too. So, you know, I had to be very, very realistic. One of the first things that I shopped for in Shepherd's was the book tape. Black, this beautiful red, and then also a dark navy blue. So this will essentially just fit around it will fit around the curved spines. I also invested in a new bone folder, because who doesn't need a new bone folder? I don't know if you can see the curve. Just beautiful. I also invested in some book board, so I'll be able to do quite a few of these, which I'm excited about. And then the creme de la creme is something else that Shepherd's sells, is beautiful handmade papers, as well as vintage replica papers. So basically what they do is they have a basket for offcuts, and both Abby and I ended up just going through and looking at all the different bits of pieces and papers, and we both just nabbed a handful. But I mean, just look at the colours. So yeah, so I was very pleased. I was actually quite restrained, having only, you know, set myself my budget, knowing that basically Shepherd's was our first stop of our day around town. from Shepherd's in Victoria, we headed off into Covent Garden, specifically to the London Graphic Centre. I ended up not spending a lot of money here. I basically just went after a set of these Uniball drawing pens for myself. They have got some of the sepia pens which I quite love to use when I journal. The London Graphic Centre is a huge store, 2 floors, just packed full of art supplies of every kind you can imagine. And yeah, it is literally a shopper's paradise. After a lovely lunch at Revolut, Abby and I headed off to Blade Rubber Stamps. We tend to call it the mothership. It's definitely a big favourite shopping place for all crafters here in London, and it gets a lot of traffic from the London British Museum, which is nearby. I bought 2 of these deep red stamps. The first one is the astrological clock, which I absolutely love. The detail is just incredible. I'm really looking forward to using it. The next up is these flowers. I specifically got them because of the proteas in the background. Proteas are very special to me. They are South Africa's national flower. We also bought this Prima marketing notepad. I love these completely ridiculous overblown flowers that you could see right at the beginning there. There's just something about the Prima marketing along with the Tim Holtz stuff which I really just thoroughly enjoy using. Next up is some of this glue. I've seen so many people use it, but I have not used it myself. I specifically bought it because of the very fine nib for when I'm gluing my bits of ephemera and things together. Next up is this very cute set of number stamps. I have got a lot of number stamps, but I just do like this very dainty set. Next is this Cavallini rubber stamp. Again, I've got a lot of alphabet stamps, but I do like the make of the Cavallini stamps. So yeah, so that is my haul. Thank you very much for coming with me as I'm, talking to you about shopping in London. That's basically what Abby and I get up to if we've got, money, a little bit of money to spare. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and like, and please do comment. Thank you very much. Have a lovely rest of the week. Until next week. Thanks. Bye.